Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mad LiberTEA party. Where up is down, left is right, and the rules don't matter because we're all mad here. Honestly, I'm not actually that mad. Well, I mean, I'm nuttier than a hatter, but I'm pretty happy to be here. It's been a little while since I've had my morning show going on, and I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of explanation for those of you who don't know. Um, I ended up getting really, really sick because of cat scratch fever, and it was just a huge mess, a giant, huge mess. My stubborn ass does not like hospitals, so or doctors or anything like that. So I held it off, and the next thing you know, I'm in the ER for like freaking 8 hours. It was horrible. So, in attempting to avoid the thing I didn't want to do, I ended up probably having to spend more time doing the thing I didn't want to do in the first place. Just goes to show nobody's fucking perfect, right? Mm. Either way, like, for those of you who don't know what cat scratch fever is, it's basically like I was just horribly fatigued and my armpit lymph node was freaking swollen like half the size of a baseball, basically. It's way smaller now, and all the fever's starting to go away. Not sick at all that much anymore. I'm just really tired all the time. So, like, bear with me as I'm getting back into this stuff. The the cool thing is though, I'm back and I shouldn't be lapsing on the morning shows anytime soon, which is great because it's really how I enjoy starting my day. Um, I don't think that this is going to be a super long one today because I've got some stuff to prepare for, which are show related. Is show related? Whatever. Anyways, but I just wanted to let you guys know that everything's going great here at MLTP, and we have some new additions to the team if you guys hadn't noticed. And we're going to be having more new additions to the team as things go by. Some of them may be on the camera, some of them may not be. If but there's always room for one more. So if any of you guys out there are interested in what we do, either in front of the camera or behind the camera, please do reach out to us. We are always looking for new members of the team. And the best way to do that is, I mean, honestly, there is no best way to do that. Just DM me on on one of our social media, or get into our Discord or our Matrix, or heck, hit me with the email. I don't care. I'll answer them all. I get to them eventually, no matter what. And we'll talk to you and everything like that. Be prepared to have an interview and be prepared to get in the matrix. If you're not willing to get in the matrix, it's just not going to work out because that's where we talk about shit. Besides, you know there's not really any better place. I'm not going to lie, I'm biased. I really like the matrix. And oh, and in honor of feeling much better, I changed my hair. It was not very expensive. I just basically did it myself. Maybe having to do some touch ups, but whatever. As I said before, nobody's fucking perfect. Man, I have been bottling up so much shit that I want to talk about that there is absolutely no way to fit it all in today. So I'm going to talk about probably the most important part, the unity part. And I'm gonna focus right now, like, on the anarchist issue, because like over and over and over again, I'm seeing this happen while I was sick, when I'm not sick prior. It'll probably keep going after all of this too. There are a bazillion anarchists out there on the left, right, or the center that seem to believe that their particular way of doing anarchism is the only way to fucking do it. And I say boo to that. Boo. Boo, I say. Fuck that shit. It's ridiculous. So long as you want to be so long as you're anti-authoritarian and you believe in people's rights, however you believe in them, and you don't want to force anything on other people, we're going to be okay with each other. Like, I don't care if we disagree on our tiny arbitrary things, especially now. Basically, anything involving economics or, like, basically almost anything. at this point that's not like basically focusing on getting our freedoms back and getting rid of the state or getting the state out of our freedoms. Anything but that is pretty arbitrary at this moment. Like, we will never have a chance to put any of these practices or ideas into play if we let them fuck around and take all of our shit while we're doing it. It's like watching some people argue while about how thieves might take their shit if they don't do things exactly the way that they want them to. But while they're sitting there arguing about it, the thieves are already taking their shit and nobody fucking notices. Like, that's literally what's fucking happening. And I just don't understand how people can get so drawn into these things, so wrapped up into these things that they fucking matter that much. It's like worrying that you no, y'all are all willing to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And to be honest, there are not enough of us. No matter what flavor of anarchist you are, there are not enough of you. There will never be enough of you if all you do is, like, uh what's the word I'm looking for here? Sorry, it's a bit early and this is new to me again, and I'm getting used to this stuff again. Um, there won't be enough of them as long as you keep your purest bullshit chasing everybody the fuck away. If it's my way or the highway, then I don't feel like you're very anarchistic. Unless you're saying, if you're not going to be like me, then I'm just not going to talk to you, which, I mean, I guess that's not anarchist. It's just kind of douchey. I mean, everybody has the right to associate or disassociate with whoever they please. Just don't pretend like it's going to fucking do anything for your cause, because it's not. Now, am I saying let the fascists in? Am I saying let the authoritarians in? Am I saying like ANCOMs, pretend to that? I mean, ANCOMs let the ANCAPs join you, ANCAPs let the ANCOMs join you? No. Stop being such a freaking bunch of collectivist cucks, y'all. We don't have to fucking agree and we don't have to join each other's fan clubs and able to fucking work with each other. The truth is, though, all of us that believe in liberty of any fucking sort, all of us that believe that the state is the problem in any fucking way, we need to be coming together to push back against the state to and to fight for people's liberties. Please don't be like the ridiculous moron that freaking came at me today telling me I'm a fascist, because I can't even figure out why they think I'm a fascist. They like clipped a little piece off of a freaking flyer and said that this is the reason why I'm fascist after everything this, and it's laughable. Like, don't go at each other like that. It makes you look like a dumbass. It makes you look like, yeah, it just makes you look like a dumbass. And the truth is, most of us don't understand how the others work. The only way we're going to do that is to sit down at the table and figure it out with each other, to talk to each other. That's one of the reasons why I've been so deeply enjoying our Monday shows lately, is because we have a spread all the way across the table. And, like, unlike on Twitter, when one of us disagrees with each other, we're just like, I disagree with this, and here's why. And then we talk about it. And, most of the time it's literal semantics. Ugh, I hate semantics. At this point, I'm basically anti-semantics because all it does is freaking waste our time. It's another distraction. They can't freaking get us to join in the party over here in authoritarian land or statist land. So they don't have to. They're literally letting us freaking look at our own labels and do the same thing that they do without them. And I mean, like, I guess that goes to prove some of our arguments. Like, we don't need the state to do all the things that are already being done, including, you know, judging each other and being complete fucking twat waffles about it. Nope, we can do that just fine on ourselves. We don't need Uncle Sam to help us. But stop it, please. Fucking stop. Just stop. The cat's dead. Bury it. Move on. Tomorrow is the only fucking thing that fucking matters. Forget all the fucking arguments, all the fucking bullshit that everybody has fucking put us through down here in bottom Unity land or up there in state cucktopia or whatever the fuck they want to call it, and go in tomorrow with your fucking ears open and your eyes open. Be prepared to find the common grounds, because if we can't, we will always be too few. We will never be able to push liberty in any form or fashion. I'm not saying that you have to agree with each other, obviously. Please don't do that. Don't sacrifice your ideals just to fit in. I fucking hate that shit. And I don't care who's doing it either, even if it serves me. Um, in Texas, I remember back when they first started the big pride thing where they were all supporting pride and shit. But in their actions, in their day to day, they didn't. They just wanted to fit in, so they put the rainbow flag out their fucking window. It was worthless. In fact, it was worse than worthless because, people thought that they were actually accomplishing something and that there was actually going to be some decency among men. And it wasn't true. You know, it what's the point? So, I mean, like, don't take yourself apart or, give in your ideas just to let other people hang out with you. It's okay to disagree with each other. In fact, I encourage everybody to fucking disagree with each other. There was another conversation that I was having earlier during the week, and um, it was very clear that the person didn't really understand the idea of groups and anarchists and stuff, which is okay. Everybody is at a different level. We're all coming into this learning, and some of us are further along the road than others. It's fine not to understand, and nobody's really going to be able to tell you the answers. They can try, I can try, but eventually things will either click for you or they won't. Um, the truth is that groups are going to exist amongst anarchists or statists or anything else of that matter. We're not going to have everybody singled out as a single person living through life. It just doesn't fucking work that way. We're not going to be building the whole pencil ourselves. We're going to be working with other people because everybody has different fucking skills. Everybody has different visas. Everybody comes from a different place. And when we come together at whichever point we come together at, we bring everything that we have already done with us into that to make it better. Just because there's a group doesn't mean that they have any power over you. Not if you're an individual. Like, if the group is made specifically for the group and it undermines the individual, then I'm not going to encourage anybody to join it. And if you join something and it starts doing that, I encourage you to get the hell out as fast as possible. Because the truth is that a group is nothing without the individual. It takes many individuals to create one. And for it to be useful, I believe that those individuals need to maintain their autonomy. Otherwise, how do you stop a group from becoming authoritarian over people? Like, you can't. If you lose yourself in that group, then you can't. And any group that requires that is ridiculous. But the truth is, like, your family, your church, your neighborhood, your bike club, your fucking fishing club, all of these things are fucking groups, but none of them require the state or like a hierarchy to exist. Some of them have them, yes, but they aren't necessary. And the truth is, like, a lot of people, they think that the only way for a group to exist is if they make a black or white decision on things. It's not going to happen that way, not down here. Like, honestly, in our group in MLTP, we have to come up with decisions. We have to make decisions and we have to do it together. And we don't usually, like, sometimes I'll poll, and if it's like way on one side, then, like I'll be like, okay, if everybody's cool, we're just going to do this. And most people don't care. But there have been times when we've had to sit down and actually discuss things and come to an understanding with each other, because I'm not going to use some voting system to like control other people in the group. And honestly, I don't believe that if we started doing that, that most of us would stay. And that makes me happy. Um, because I don't want that kind of thing. um, we sit down, we discuss what our problems are and how we want to go forward with that. Um, and likewise, like, you know, if you want more structure in your group, you guys can make more structure in your group. That's okay. I just highly advise against any sort of hard hierarchy. It's going to cause problems. It will always cause problems, especially with liberty minded people. We are, at the end of the day, individuals. And I think that even my ANCOM friends can understand that, because like, they don't want the state doing all the things that they want. They want they want the community coming together to do these things together. And you know, I have seen some of them talk about direct democracy and stuff at a local level, but I don't think that, like, when they start talking about it and shit like that, I don't think it's quite the same concept of direct democracy that we have today. I mean, a lot of times I've seen them use it to decide what degree of compromise there's going to be. Like if they have five options and a certain amount of people vote for three of those options, and they just drop the other two, and they're like, well, you know, 30%, 20%, and 50%. We'll just do it that way based on, like, and I think that's actually pretty cool. Nobody's getting fucked over there. Nobody's getting forced to do anything. And one of the concepts that came up was, well, what if I want to not be part of not do my, like, what if I decide not to do the job I'm supposed to do, but I still want to be part of the commune? And I'm like, the only thing I can say is you didn't want to be part of the commune. Like, if it's a group situation and you all come together and agree that y'all are going to do these things, and then everybody's going to get their fair share, if you stop doing something, they're not obligated to give you anything. um they may not, like, they're probably not going to freaking excommunicate you from the fucking village, but they're definitely not going to give you something you didn't work for. I mean, then again, like, if you can't, there are more social minded capitalists and ANCAPs that would still help people who couldn't. And I mean, that's the spirit of philanthropy. So I'm not saying that they wouldn't, but I mean, from what I have experienced personally, I really don't think that a commune is going to throw you out if you suddenly can't work anymore because something's wrong with you. Like, a lot of these people believe in taking care of each other and the community. And to be honest, I think that all of us down here, to a certain extent, have some belief of taking care of the people in our communities that can't do something. Um, And I don't know, it doesn't even matter what job you were supposed to do, by the way. Because like somebody was asking, what job were you supposed to do? It doesn't matter what job you were supposed to do. It just, I mean, any job. It was a hypothetical discussion, technically, so we didn't really pick a job for the discussion, but like, exactly, exactly. Thank you for putting that. That's a very good way to put that. A commune possesses about as much of a structural integrity as everyone applies to it. I mean, like, that's dead true. And I don't know if it's a morbid way of life. I don't really think so. If that's what people want to do and that's what fulfills them and that's what makes them happy, then go for it. Um, I'm never going to stand by the idea of an enforced commune or an enforced company or anything of that nature, ever. I think that everything should be voluntary. And if it's not, then it basically needs to be burned down. Theoretically, in Minecraft, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not an ANCOM and I'm not an ANCAP. So I'm just talking about the things that I've learned along the way, the things that I've learned from talking to people and working with things. And yeah, and the enforced is, I mean, you think that no matter what in a group, people are going to be enforcing something on people. Um, See, I think that's a really weird way to look at it. Because like if people do start to enforce, then it's the individuals of the group's job to make sure, like to push back and not allow that. It's like there won't be anybody there in an anarchist society. There's not going to be anybody there to like no state or anything like that to look after you. There's not going to be anyone there to well look after you because they really don't. But there's not going to be anybody to enforce any of these things. It will be up to the individuals to enforce them. So like if you don't want something, then you have to push back. And oh yeah. No, an enforced commune is a fucking an enforced anything is always gonna fucking end up being sort of like that. Yeah, I totally agree. But like a voluntary commune, it's voluntary. If you choose not to do your part, you're choosing not to be part of it. And like if people don't want to give you your share if you didn't work for your share, I mean like I think everybody agrees that like if you don't work or you don't try. I mean, even people who can't work, they can do something. Like people who have gotten too old to work, they can teach people things. We stopped talking to our elders, so some of you might not know this, but they know things they can impart to us, and it's very important. They can keep an eye out for kids. They can, like they can always do something. There's always something that they can do until they get to the point where they are literally too feeble to do anything at all. And I mean, at that point, it's up to them whether they want to keep going. I'm not going to force them to do that either. But, if you're disabled, we can find something for you to do. Like, even if it's something just simple, um, every little fucking thing helps. I mean, I really hate the fact that we have stepped away from our elders and ceased to learn from them. And I think that's part of what the state really wants from us because, they want us to follow their doctrine, their indoctrination, instead of actually going out there and learning from the people who have experience. And I'm not saying that they're perfect. I'm saying that we all have to learn how to, like give and take. I'm sorry that this is kind of a rambling morning, but I've been away for like a week and there have been so many things just coming through my head that like I'm just kind of like touching on little things and stuff like that this morning. It's kind of like a real easy chill afternoon or chill morning leading into the afternoon. Um, Speaking of the afternoon, though, we're gonna be having a guest on today. I'm gonna have Mando come over, and we're gonna talk about what's happening on January 17th. If you guys haven't seen me posting all these flyers about everybody coming together in the capitals, to make a stand for our freedom, all of our freedoms, together, despite who you are and where you come from, that's we're gonna break that down. Um, oh, cool. Well, I'm glad that you came back. Thanks, dude. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna explain that probably about 6 o'clock CT, 6 p.m. CT this afternoon. So like, I hope you guys will come back and find out what that's about, or at least pop in afterwards and check it out and stuff like that. But honestly, I think the theme of this entire episode today is just if you're an anarchist, could you maybe stop being a dick to the other anarchists? It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything for them. It's not going to change their idea. Um, and I mean, I kind of do call-ins. We use we use Streamlab we use StreamYard. So like anybody who'd like to reach out and talk to us or share ideas or anything like that, just and hit us up and we'll work it out and definitely talk to you guys and stuff like that. Um if you're doing something and you want to share it with people, or you want like a video to share around or anything, hit us up. We'll help you with that. If you have a show or like a cool website that helps, like with like, oh man, I want to get the person who put together the Agorist. I think it's called an Agorist Network. I'm trying to get them on. We're working it out. I got sick in the middle of it, so we didn't actually finish working it out. But I'm gonna get back to that really soon. But like, if you have any cool project or anything like that, be it philanthropy that you started on your own, like Feed Philly, when we had them on, they started their own nonprofit to help the homeless without any help from the state. I would love to have you guys on to talk about it. If you just have a really interesting story, even, or if you or if you have like something that like, or you want to just like have a discussion about a specific topic or anything. You don't have to be famous. Look, I'm not like that. Y'all just reach out to me and we'll chat and we'll see what's going on. Like, I have no problem with bringing on people who are not freaking famous. To be honest, if people didn't talk to people who weren't famous, like, I don't think we would have probably ended up with as many followers as we have, and I don't think we would get any further. We've had people who are big come on our show and we were tiny. And I mean tiny, like 40, 50 people were following us, and they were willing to come on and talk to us. So like, I don't care if you're well known or anything like that. Just hit us up. And like I said earlier, if you'd like to get involved here or join our community or anything like that, you can, like freaking hit up our link tree. That actually will list off all the different places you can find us in our communities, like our Matrix server or our Discord or our MeWe or anything of that nature. Sorry, there's not going to be any Facebook. Apparently, I'm a horrible person and I've been banned from Facebook. Everybody in our staff was banned from Facebook, including the dude who has never posted anything before. So, dangerous liberty indeed. But hell, I don't care how big you are. If you're doing something and you want to talk about it, or if you have some ideas and you want to talk about it, just hit us up. We'll figure it out. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. They gave me a list of the terms of violation, and then they didn't like specifically tell me which one it was. I'm gonna assume it's because oh, sorry, wrong way. You see these aloha flowers in the background? I'm going to assume that's what it is. They like to think we're some sort of crazy terrorists or something, which I really don't think that's true at all. I haven't met any of us who are crazy terrorists yet. I mean, I've met some people who are crazy, but in the best ways, though. In the best ways. Mm. That being said, we have been taking our LiberTEA fund and putting it back into the Liberty community every chance we get. And that has caused a serious problem, aka we don't have enough money to put all over the place into the Liberty community anymore. Now we're slowly re-upping, obviously, because of you beautiful subscribers over on our Subscribe Star who are literally subscribing to Liberty at this point, um, or helping us subscribe to Liberty. We're putting it back in there, is what I'm saying. So, like, if you guys would like to see us continue to do that, definitely hit up our Subscribe Star, hit up our coin tree if you don't want to use the filthy white market money. Um, I'm in the LP, but I'm a Black Flag anarchist. We have different people in the team. We have an ANCOM, we have a couple of ANCAPs, we have libertarian, we have a an egoist, anarchist, egoist type person. I don't really want to. It's hard to freaking label them. Every time you ask, they just talk about how it's a spook. No, I'm just kidding. They're not that bad, but still. Um, like, we have all sorts of different people. We have libertarians too, though. Dave Smith is okay. Not my favorite, but like, I don't hate him. I've I have heavily disagreed and also agreed with the various things that they've put out there. So, but I don't actually have time to watch it on a daily basis like I do, like, Ron Paul's Liberty Report, or, you know, I there's not a lot of people that I watch that have a daily thing, but when I get a chance to watch certain ones, I jump on them. And I disagree with Ron Paul on things. He's a little bit libertarian statist. The little statists, the ones that are cool, that I can deal with, and stuff like that for me. And sometimes like sometimes he's a bit too over on the capitalist land. Like, I'm not against capitalism personally, but I don't think it's the end all. I think that in the end, when we finally do reach the land of freedom, anarchotopia or whatever, people are going to do what they want. I mean, that's kind of what anarchists do. What they want, what they think is right. Mm. That being said, I hope to see you guys tonight when we talk to Mando and talk about the January 17th thing. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Anybody who plays this current game with the government, I totally agree with you. Uh, Honestly, I think anybody who plays the game with the government, maybe not are authoritarians, but they're playing an authoritarian game. I don't think they all quite understand what's going on, but yeah. And some people will never get along. We don't have to be friends. We just have to fucking work to, like, we have to at least work towards liberty together. We don't have to freaking link arms and sing Kumbaya fucking yaw. Um, in fact, there are some people that I work with that I would prefer not to hang out with. I'm okay with that. But the truth is, if we can't pull together in some form or fashion, it's just not going to happen. But I love you guys. We're hitting up on past half an hour at this point, so I'm gonna get out of here. Hope to see you guys tonight. Monday, let's see. Wait, today is Saturday, right? Yes. Sunday's going to be the day off as normal still because we have our meetings and stuff like that and our back end stuff. Monday night, we're going to be having our regular episode of Stirring the Liberty or Spilling the Liberty, where the whole team comes together with a big podcast in the evening at about 7:30 p.m. CT. And we talk about news and various things in the Liberty communities and things like that that have been going on, and give our little 2 cents for what that's worth, um, on basically everything. And we try to come up with something positive to add in there at least, because there's been so much horrible, bad stuff going on that, like, it's getting banal as hell. But last week we could barely do it. Week before that, though, the elephant thing was great. I fucking love that elephant. Um, but after that, on Tuesday, we're going to be having another special guest come on and talk. It's another one of our Mad Liberty times, where we bring on somebody who is from the Liberty movement that has one hell of a story to tell. I'm not going to get into it and spoiler any of that, but keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be setting up the preview for it today at some point. And this dude, he has been, I mean, like, he has experienced some stuff that blows me away. And those of you who know me know that I've been around and seen and done some shit, but this dwarfs me. And this is exactly the kind of stuff that people need to see. It's a passion of mine to gather information, to go around and find people's stories, collect them, and share them. And especially, I've been spending more and more time on the Liberty movement, and I mean, specifically on the boys. And by the boys, I mean the Boog. Uh, I keep putting my hand over the wrong freaking direction. The Boog and everything like that. So on Tuesday night, we're gonna bring one of the boys on, and it's just gonna be really, really interesting. Please, if you're gonna be around, pop in, bring your questions, bring your questioning minds, and hit us up and everything like that. No, no, not Proud Boys, Boog Boys. Fuck the Proud Boys. Fuck those dudes. They're like, yeah, just fuck those dudes. like I don't want to get into it. Maybe I'll make a morning show about the freaking Proud Boys, but fuck those guys. Fuck them running with a sideways rusty wooden grapefruit spoon at this point. I was willing to like maybe talk to them and stuff like that, but man, I don't see anything about that. If you want to get out and you want to reach out to people, go ahead and fucking hit me up. But like if you want to stay a proud boy, don't fucking bother talking to me. We ain't gonna have a good time. I don't like authoritarians. I don't like people who work that way. I don't really think that jumping to violence first is good, and that seems to be where everybody's bound at this point. But until later on tonight, I guess I'm going to let you guys go. Please be safe out there, but don't sacrifice your freedom for the illusion of safety because it's not real. Y'all keep on keeping on, and I'm gonna just let you know that this mad coffee break is adjourned. See you